Welcome back. Good show tonight. Joan Rivers, Lou Holtz, a fashion show for you. And this gal, who is that a pretty picture? This week's cover of People magazine. Very talented lady. She's yeah. She's on the cover of this. She's currently co-starring in one of the biggest hit movies of the year, Magic, about to open her holiday show at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. And tomorrow night at 9 o'clock here on NBC, she has her own television show special called Rockette, a holiday tribute to the Radio City Music Hall, which is still in existence. Would you welcome Miss Anne Margaret? Did you get mad at me in the hall? You weren't wearing that one now, and I thought I was being amusing. And then I found out it's very chic and very in. You came in wearing this little thing. And I said, is that just to keep warm, and you're not going to wear that on the show? And you gave me this terrible look, and then I realized that that's a very chic hair thing, and I wasn't familiar with it.
Well, do you like it?
Yes, much better than I did in the hall.
I don't believe
you gave me a look that it was frosty, and I really thought you just, stuck a bandana around your head, and it was very chic and probably very expensive, and that shows you what I know about women's clothes.
That's correct.
But that looks smashing.
Thank you very much.
If you're working in a field somewhere.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
That is pretty now, isn't it? Really, come on, folks. Good. That is nice.
Thank you very much.
What do you want for Christmas, first of all? Hey, first of all, this is a pretty picture.
Thank you.
That's why I found out things about you I did not know in here. Did not know. We'll get to that later.
I don't remember.
What do you want for Christmas? Let's get that out of the way first.
Oh, dear.
You get tired of people saying you're so difficult to buy for because you have money, you're affluent enough to go out and when you see something, to buy it for yourself. And people always say, what can I get somebody who has a lot of things materially?
Oh, I want everybody to be happy, I really do.
Well, that's nice.
I really love giving gifts more than receiving them.
It said in here that you personally sit down, select, go to stores and buy gifts for a lot of people who work for you, something like 200 of them. You do all that by yourself?
Oh, definitely, all the business and the personal. Because Christmas time is the most important time of the year for me.
Yeah?
And Christmas Eve is when the Swedes celebrate. And I just love to have all my friends there and have them open the gifts that I chose.
Do the Swedes celebrate Christmas different than the rest of us? I mean, is there something like a Swedish... I'm just putting you on, you know that.
I know you are.
But you sit around and drink some kind of strange
Glögg.
Swedish... What?
Glögg, and it's lethal.
What is that? I don't know what you're...
Glögg is
Glögg?
like a... Glögg. It's like a hot punch. And
It
it
sounds so terrible.
Oh, you
Want some
like
more
it?
glögg? How do you spell it? G-L-U-G?
G-L-O with two...
Oh, I've seen that, yeah. Now, what is that?
Has, let's see, vodka in it and brandy.
With a lot of stuff.
And you think that you're not feeling anything, and then you try to get up.
Don't you love that when people make those party things in a big bowl, and they mix like rum or vodka, and they put fruit juice in, and people come in, and it tastes just so nothing. And they just sit there and put this down, and then they go out in a doggy bag about an hour. But now, if somebody wanted to buy something for you, something material now, that's too easy to say you want happiness. We all want that. But, I mean, materially, have you seen something that...
What do you...
Freddie's saying another new hat. But,
You are... I don't know, they're just...
Clothing?
I love hearts.
See, now it's difficult for people to buy clothing for you.
Well, I love everything.
Yeah?
I mean, scarves and...
Scarves?
Hearts.
Hearts?
Let's see.
A hat remover?
I can't believe
Get off her
this.
hat now. It's a nice hat. That's very chic.
Chicken sweat.
How about a nice Whitman sampler, something like that? A nice box of chocolates.
Oh, God, let's see. I never can say anything when I'm on here.
Jewelry, expensive jewelry. Do you like, does that mean anything to you?
Anything. I mean, it doesn't have to be, real.
Yeah?
I love-
Come on now. Would you rather have a real
that
diamond
I don't have any rings
than a
on.
fake diamond?
Well, there's some beautiful costume jewelry. There really is.
Oh.
And,
Go to the cheap counter then. Get that stuff.
anything, really.
Hey, tomorrow you got, I was back in New York. Radio City Music Hall is still is cooking. Are they trying to keep it alive? It was announced several months ago that it was going to close down because apparently people are not going there. It's difficult to fill 6,000 people in a show.
Well, that's when we decided to do a tribute to the music hall. And see, when I came to America with my mother, I was 6 years old, and my father had been here before.
Right.
And he was waiting at the dock for us. And that night, we didn't speak a word of English.
Now, I find that hard to believe the way you speak now, that you did not speak English.
But, well, you should hear my mother. She has a very strong accent. And that night, he took us to the music hall. And although we couldn't understand...
Do you remember anything that was playing at all?
I remember everything.
The Rockettes? Were the Rockettes working then? Not the same ones that are working now.
1942.
No, but I mean, did they have the Rockettes show then?
Yes. Oh,
That is sensational if you haven't seen it. It sounds corny and kind of commercial, but they put on a show, especially at Easter and the holidays, that is incredible. How many girls are in that line?
It's an American tradition. I mean, every foreigner that comes here wants to see the Statue of Liberty, the Empire State Building, and
Radio City.
Radio City.
That's too bad, and it probably will not survive, will it?
Oh, it will.
They think so?
Oh, I hope so.
I keep hearing that they can't make it, and they're going to tear it down.
They just need, to have people come in there and...
Well, didn't we talk to them about going back there once?
Really?
We offered, strangely enough, to take the Tonight Show. We thought it would be fun to go back and do the Tonight Show from Radio City Music Hall.
That's fabulous.
For a few weeks. But apparently at that time they told us something like it looked like it was not going to make it anyway. So we didn't go back. You wanted to be, somebody told me you wanted to be a Rockette, like a lot of young gals do when they're young. But you were too short to be a Rockette.
I thought that they were all going to be 6 foot tall. And actually, a lot of them are my height.
Yeah, they're graduated, aren't they? I mean, the tall girls are in the middle, and then they...
I'm 5'4"3/4", and actually you're supposed to be 5'5".
You're still trying to get that 5'4" 3/4".
Sure.
It's like a kid when you say, how old are you? I'm 8 years and 9 months. 5. I read in an article in the paper where you said you didn't consider yourself a high kicker. You consider yourself, now, am I right on this? A pelvic dancer.
Yes.
Is that true?
Uh-huh.
Now, what is the difference between a kicking dancer and a pelvic dancer?
That's not...
And could you show us? Because I really don't know the difference. You said you weren't a kicker, but you were a pelvic dancer. And as an educational feature of the show,
You're really going to do it to me.
I thought maybe you could show us what you meant by that.
No, I didn't really say that. I said...
Yes, you did.
I said...
Very close to it.
No, I said this. I'm used to modern jazz.
Yes.
And like disco dancing, where it's pelvic, like that, which is different than the rigid back, and everything has to be like this.
Ah.
And I was the only Rockette that was always out of line.
Really? Now, you danced with the girls, didn't you?
Yeah, they were wonderful. In fact, they made me an honorary Rockette.
Are you an honorary Rockette? Well, that's nice. You used to say that the girls would do, during the war, they would do 4 shows, like 4 shows a day, and then between shows, they'd go over to the canteen, USO canteen, and entertain.
Right.
That was that Ben Vereen?
Yes.
Who else was it? I know Greg Peck is in it because he was here when I talked about it.
He was a tour guide when he was about 16 years old.
At Radio City?
Mm-hmm. And Greer Garson is on the show, and she is the queen of the music hall. And because her movies have played more weeks.
Right, so everybody had something.
And Beverly Sills. I do a duet with her. I have a lot of nerve doing a duet with Beverly Sills.
Oh, but she's a great lady.
She is
a great gal, Beverly Sills.
Fabulous.
This looks like a great show. That's on tomorrow at 9 o'clock, I guess.
Right. I'm just very, very proud to be part of it.
Yeah, it looks super. So they're going to save it, huh? Radio City.
I sure hope so.
All right. We're going to do this. Joni Rivers is with us. You're going to stay. You can stay with us because we have a lingerie. Well, that wouldn't interest you, I don't suppose. The guys more. It's very late tonight because it's pretty racy. I ain't going to lose nobody tonight. And Lou Holtz is with us, so stay where you are. We'll be right back.